Oh, I got some juicy news for you. Profit First app version 2.0 is here. With an enhanced user experience and video guidance throughout, you can now be even more confident in your Profit First implementation. Plus, listeners who work with a certified Profit First professional get extra benefits. Check it out now at www.profitfirstapp.com. Oh, I got some juicy news for you. Profit First app version 2.0 is here. With an enhanced user experience and video guidance throughout, you can now be even more confident in your Profit First implementation. Plus, listeners who work with a certified Profit First professional get extra benefits. Check it out now at www.profitfirstapp.com. Hey, accountants. If you're spending too much time on manual work, here's the solution for you. It's called Bill, B-I-L-L, and it's the easiest way to streamline your work. Bill's automation helps eliminate repetitive tasks so you can focus on bigger things in your firm. That means slashing the time you spend on financial cleanup and chasing receipts. With Bill, you put AP, AR, and business expenses on autopilot. And for a limited time, when you take a demo at bill.com/grow, you'll get a $250 gift card of your choice. Terms apply. Get started today.
Today, right here, right now, this is the moment that you will finally say,
I'm growing my accounting practice, and you're going to discover exactly how right here, right now,
on the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit First Professionals.
And I am Liz Sporn, a guide here at Profit First Professionals.
And Mike McCallow, it's also the co-founder of PFP with Ron and the author of Profit First. You're listening to GMAT, my friends. This is the show where we teach you the step-by-step to doing exactly that. So welcome to all the coaches, accountants, and bookkeepers who've joined us. That's CABS. That's my new term, C-A-B, CABS.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
It's like, it's like a fine wine. That's why I thought it'd be good. And this is the show where we give you the strategies to grow your practice by doing a GMAT Now task, an insider access from Obi-Ron himself, and a great guest interview. And we got a bazinga of an interview for you today.
Nice use. And don't forget, you can find GMAP, Grow My Accounting Practice Podcast, on any podcatcher out there. So don't forget to review and subscribe so you never miss a wonderful show, if I might say.
So I was, just before we get started here, I was away for the last 2.5 weeks. There's this pile of mail. And I got this statement from where I've invested, like where I save my money and stuff. And I open it and it says $2.4 billion. And I'm like, all right, it feels really good. And it says total fund net worth. Yours, $7 total.
Oh.
It's like, it was just like, they said this huge statement and it's just, I have like 1/4 of 1/4 of a share.
Oh,
But
that's rude. I thought it was going to be like, could be yours if I was waiting for a dot.
It feels that way now. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, man, I should have asked you to pick it up for me, Ron.
Oh, it's so funny.
Any other exciting mail? Because wait, there's no good mail anymore. Did you get any
I got
mail?
the most exciting mail. I'll show it on video here.
AARP?
AARP. The most.
No.
I knew it.
Nice.
I'm so smart.
I love AARP. It is so good. ARP. Association of Retired People.
It's got Liz's boyfriend usually in there, Eric Estrada. So
He's always in there. He's always in there.
So, but you were traveling with purpose, though. You were hitting up the profit cons across the globe.
Yeah, I want to say that the feedback for ProfitCon, all of the events, was the best we've ever received. And it's always been, and I'm just saying this, it's always been very positive, but there's something special afoot. Maybe it's because of the changing economies. Maybe it's because of the rise of AI, but these people were our members, the most connected, the most engaged, and the most of service I've ever seen them. And they always are of service.
Yeah.
So, and I got one more. I got Australia next. I got a couple weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, I think I take off.
That's great. I heard that too. I heard it from every member. I was like, come on, give me the bad stuff. Give me what'd you hate? And they're like, nothing. We loved every single part of it. But the community is what everybody said. They're like, it was just so fun. Like I felt like I was coming home. I felt like I was in this room. We're talking to, at best, extroverted introverts. And this grew, everybody was like, it was so fun. I just had such a great time. I did also hear multiple times, thank you for choosing the speakers just for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me, I was like, oh man. Yes.
Well, using a Ron transition, he does this in our morning meetings sometimes, talking about picking a speaker just for you. We got the guy. We got the guy because we're going to talk about tax planning, but building your practice, leveraging tax planning strategies. Mark Perlberg is the founder of Prosperl CPA, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, near Marietta, I believe, where my daughter's from, the big chicken down there, specializing in advanced tax reduction strategies and services for high income earning real estate investors and entrepreneurs across the US. He and his team are the pioneers of the most advanced strategies to advise hundreds of clients in creating tens of millions in tax savings each year. He's a CPA, certified tax planner, and holds a master's in accounting. No further ado, Perlberg.
Welcome, Pearl.
Perlberg, welcome to the show.
Oh,
Nailed it.
Perlberg, Mark, welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I got to ask you, that setup behind you, it doesn't look like an AI. Is that your real office?
So yeah, it's completely fake, but I invested about, a good chunk of change to have a professional setting and really have a world-class presentation, because so much of what we do is on YouTube and on videos. So, if we don't have a physical, get to see people in real life, this is the next best thing to show what we're made out of.
It's amazing. Yeah. First impressions are everything. And I'll tell you, it's a quality impression. I'm just one last question about that, and we got to get into the topic, but is that on a green screen? How are you doing it? Is because it's such a high end.
Yeah. It's actually an 80-inch television behind me.
Oh, genius.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Stop it. That I do
Football
change it
over at Mark's house.
I know.
So
Wait, change the background again.
yeah, I could just press a button
I make
here.
you mess with all your stuff.
And
Put a picture of Mike up on there. Oh, look at that one.
wow, all
On-screen
these different
author-
offices you have.
Yeah, On-Screen Authority is the group that did it, and it was a lot of work. You might want to get them to just do it for you, but at the end of the day, I'm very happy with the results.
I mean, we love Liz's. I mean, Liz is the highest end background we've all got.
Thank you.
Yeah, very real, very real.
So crusty and dusty. I love it.
So let's get into the topic at hand. We're talking about building your practice, and maybe these first impressions play into this. You're saying you can do it via tax planning.
yes.
Just give us a context. How can one of our listeners introduce tax planning or enhance their tax planning to better, build their business?
Yeah. So, most firms, they probably get asked questions related to tax planning. They don't know how to charge for it. They don't charge enough so they can dedicate enough time for it. So you might find yourself either doing work for free, which nobody here wants to be doing, and the client assumes it's included, that they can ask you whatever they want, or you're leaving 6-7 figures of revenue on the table by not bringing these ideas to your clients. So, one of the things you want to recognize what tax planning is first, I'd say, because first you got to say, okay, hey, that's tax planning. What you just asked me on, should I do a 1031 or not? Now that's going to take some analysis and something that's a different scope of work. Let's see if a package works for you. So first identify it, and then finally, I would say if you really want to do tax planning, start. The best answer I can give you is to just join the American Institute of Certified Tax Planners. It's such an amazing, an amazing organization. If you guys haven't had Dominique on, the founder, oh my God, you got to talk to her. She's amazing. And I built my practice and started it around her concepts. I mean, really dive into this stuff. If you have high income earner clients, you're just leaving so much on the table.
Yeah, we share a lot of the members. We have several certified tax.
We do.
I believe Eric Lievenhagen, back in the early genesis of Profit First, won Certified Tax Coach of the Year.
Yeah, such a wonderful organization, doing amazing things for our clients using what we've learned there. And then obviously you can continue to learn, but I mean, that's really the foundation where you can learn so much about how to deliver and how to price is such a great starting point.
Well, one of the things I think that you're talking about here is educating the consumer. But before I got into this world of accounting, taxes are taxes. Tax planning is tax filing is taxes. Yeah. It's all just the same thing, isn't it? And so, I think that by educating, the person sitting in front of you to have a clear understanding of the differences between filing and planning and what those represent could be a competitive advantage as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, And the fact that if you have taken the time to really learn how to deliver the stuff, and you've packaged it, and you have a way to communicate the value of tax planning, not explain it, but the value that they can get, and now you have a really strong offer and value proposition for your clients.
I see, a lot like what my clients can't afford tax planning. I mean, we're talking about, sometimes 50, 60, 70,000, a year for this stuff. And I'm working with clientele that may be grossing 250,000. How would a firm like mine, should we even, get into that? Or are these estimates of what I'm talking about just for the upper echelon, or, what do I do if
High
when I'm,
income earners, as you
yeah,
said before. Is it
thank
only for the high income earners?
So I would say that there's levels to this. So you can have a tiered approach where you have a beginning business owner. Let's say they're doing 250 AGI. Most of the advanced tax planning concepts won't work. And someone like that likely may not be very interested in what we do, because we specialize at doing things at a higher level, but you can still add value, and it'll still be worth your time to teach them some foundational concepts, like how to maximize their travel, reasonable compensation studies, and maybe considering some retirement accounts, some foundational elements. Just, you can have a tiered system, and just when you tell them what that includes, and if you can show the value in there, you can still deliver some form of tax planning. It may be very foundational, but some of these people starting off, they don't even realize that they can write certain things off. They're leaving write-offs on the table every year.
I like that. I love, we prescribe to a tiered pricing model here, and there's always some version of a DIY. And so I love that. Like, here's the baby steps into big kid tax planning, and so simple: maximize travel, things that they're always already doing, already thinking about, retirement. That's great. That was super helpful. One of the questions I have is about team. Tax planning is not easy, and it's not fast, right? So it's, how do you build a team if you're a one person shop, or you have a couple production folks? What do you do to get your team started?
Yeah, I
Tax
think
planning.
that, obviously you want to learn this yourself as well, but there's this common perception that, oh, I don't want to do tax planning because if I offer tax planning, I got to do all the work.
Mhm.
And the owner is the only one with the power to do the tax planning. Like, they are the only one exalted. Like, it's this sort of Excalibur, and is not true. Like, people love learning this stuff. If you have a group of enthusiastic tax professionals, they're really going to gravitate to this stuff. So first, you got to overcome your limiting beliefs, but build a system by which you're teaching these concepts. Find some client avatars where you can have them run scenarios and projections and train them on this stuff. And what you're going to find is a certain type of employee is going to really enjoy this stuff, and it can do fantastic work on this. And so, really, once you can offer it, teach it. And that's really the best way to learn it as well.
Great. Thank you.
I'm curious about
client scenarios.
packaging your offering, meaning, does every client require a custom, unique service set, which can become very time consuming, but you can charge a premium? Or can we package it? Do the clients go through maybe a foundational piece that's the same for everybody, pre-customization? Because I'm thinking about the efficiencies that can be built.
Yeah. The answer is going to be really, it depends. So I've seen different ways people have implemented it. So I know someone who he had a flat price of like $7,000 to start with us, and he would sell like 30 of them in a month, because he would kind of like target this broad demographic and just crank out tax plans. That's one way to do it and mass produce tax plans. But other folks who are getting opportunities to consult on, let's say, a $30 million exit, you're not going to really be able to have like a flat formula, So it really it depends on the type of clients you're working with, and it also depends on your business model. So it's really, I think that the answer is just, it depends on what works for you. I can't really say what's the overall best thing to do here.
What's a number of clients that someone should pursue when starting out? Do you just go for one and learn? Is it better to start with a handful? What's your strategy?
So I started my practice with 0 clients, and I was a weekend warrior, right? Because I had like a full-time job, and it allowed me to invest like 50 hours of research for like my very first client. And he's still with me because I dove so deeply into everything I can do. But I think a really good way to do this, if you already own a firm, is you just pick off maybe the top 10%, and one by one, you identify the opportunities, you learn, you get really good, deliver a stellar tax plan, and then move on to the next at your own pace. You can maybe announce it once you're ready, or even sooner, you can announce it that we're offering it to everyone. So that's another way to do it that'll be very impactful.
I love it.
What are some of the advanced tax strategies or opportunities that the general tax preparer that does a great job may kind of be aware of, but not necessarily? Like, I know there's farm, solar, but what are some other avenues out there that if somebody could take research, look into, they could provide an avenue for their clients to pursue?
I mean, there's so many, but there's some of the things. I mean, I could tell you about some of the things that I've been talking with our clients about in the past week. And sometimes it's about a stack of ideas. So, and how it all comes together. And it may not be anything so new, but it's a way of stacking it at the optimal metals, at the optimal points to maximize savings. But some of the things that are very powerful involve charitable deductions, where the charitable deduction is in excess of the cost to create it. So that could involve a valuation of the asset that's donated. It could involve timing, where you're using leverage, where essentially you collateralize a debt to get a charitable cash deduction that can offset as much as 60% of your income. Some of it may involve, we talked about solar. What I like is we look at the whole shebang and see how it all comes together and ways they can complement each other, where maybe you're combining some simple ideas, but the combination, it maximizes the impact of both. So for instance, we'll do a cost segregation on a short-term rental, but we'll also stack in an HRA and hire the spouse. And then we'll put a solar panel on the short-term rental to reduce energy costs and get federal tax credits and bonus depreciation. And then we can time it with the Roth conversion. So it's like the mix of things is where you demonstrate not that you just know the stuff, but you know how to put it all together in a way that delivers an optimal
It's
result.
like you're orchestrating. I'm
Totally.
like, oh my God, there's a lot
Such
of
a puzzle.
individual things, but
Mhm.
you're,
Jenga. It's like Jenga. It's tax
Yeah.
Jenga.
Yeah,
I have a question,
fun.
because as you're talking about all of this, my head is already like, there's so many things. Knowing our listeners are bookkeeping firms owners, accounting firm owners, and financial coaches who may not ever want to do tax or tax planning, or maybe they want to sort of dabble. How can the bookkeepers and the financial coaches utilize someone like you? What's the best way that they can grow their firm without necessarily offering tax
Yeah.
planning services?
And I think that for some of the people listening who are all in on doing the profit first, and which is so important. I mean, your profit is more important than your tax avoidance, because if you're not profitable, you have nowhere to go. But so what I would say here is there's a lot of, it's gaining a lot of attention. People are talking a lot about taxes here. And if you want to be your primary resource for your person here and guide them through this, you can form a strategic relationship with a firm like ours, where we don't even do bookkeeping. We don't have, because to do bookkeeping and to do the profit first and the cash flow and the CFO work, that's a whole other profession and mindset. We don't have, there's enough to learn in the tax code that I'll never have a chance to go there, because that's a whole other universe of stuff. And the tax code is an infinite universe of stuff as well. So if you can form a strategic relationship where you align, just like we will reach out and try to get CFOs and other people to align with our clients and guide them, you can be the person that coordinates and facilitates this all. So the clients are seeing the value and they're not like, why isn't this guy how come you didn't tell me that I can do something that would reduce my taxes? Like, why didn't you even tell this about? So just know the basics and make the connections.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love it. The strategic partnerships and sort of the curation of good humans is one of my favorite games. So thanks. I love that.
When someone introduces tax planning services, I'm just curious if they need certain insurance or other measures in their office before they just announce it and do it. Certifications, anything like that?
So, you would want to update your professional liability insurance.
Okay.
That would be one thing. And then if you go through the proper training and you understand how to structure a tax plan and how to write this in a way that is protecting yourself. So you disclose what information you are basing your recommendations on. You are building controls within this segment of advisory and in your recommendations, so you're protected. So for instance, we have record and evidence that the client said we are projecting 3 million of profit and it's similar to the prior year. And then when you do the return, they have $1 million in profit. And then all of the recommendations don't really make sense anymore. And there's all these carry forwards and they spent all this money and then they can't afford it. If that happens, you're protected because you've done the proper steps of due diligence and you're in compliance with Circular 230 in the preparation of your deliverables.
The fact they're so profitable, clearly they're doing profit first. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
Correct.
absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Now, I'll also say that you want to do effective due diligence on the strategies you're using as you start to drift away from the stuff that that is a little more easily accessible. So if you're going beyond cost segregation and retirement accounts and you want to start exploring some more sophisticated structures, you're going to need a team to help you with the due diligence on those, because I'll tell you what, there are a lot of people you got to watch out for promoting things that could get you in trouble. So you need to have an alliance with people that are doing this ethically and you have proper due diligence on some of these recommendations.
Yeah. So we have just about 1 minute left. So I have a final question. We started with training your team and sort of, educating clients, thinking about how to best communicate. The way that you were talking about some of these strategies, it wasn't just about like spend less, do a little bit more. You're like, and then we're going to hire your wife, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to open these 15 things. Well, how do you communicate effectively with dummies like me? I mean, I'm sweating over here just thinking about all these tax stuff and changes. I'm like, should I do that? I mean, this is where my head goes. Do I need to do that? Should we do that? Whatever. How do you communicate with your clients to make sure they get what you're doing?
Yeah, so it's a step-by-step process. And that's one of the great things about having a subscription model, because we may not be able to accomplish everything and we may overwhelm them in the first year. They're like, we know that there's all these other cool things we could do, but they signed with us in October. We have 3 months to get our game plan together. So we tack the high ticket items. And with part of our subscription, we always want to add new avenues and new layers and build on those strategies and take them further so we can continue to add value and justify our fees and help increase that compounding growth we're creating for our clients with additional tax savings being reinvested.
Are you meeting with them in person? So you're like Zoom, like you're like once a month, once a quarter? How often? How much of Mark do they get?
So we have open calls twice per week where anyone of our clients can log in and talk to me. We also have workshops, usually twice per month. We had one person recently talk about advanced college planning and tuition reduction strategies.
Cool.
And so we bring in people of interest to our clients there. And then our package includes up to 12 meetings on an as-needed basis, up to 12 per year, mid-year planning and Q4 planning. So at the very least, it's twice a year. But if they have complexities and we need more communication, we can meet on an as-needed basis. And especially for folks where you have real estate investors with cap gain events, that sporadic nature allows for the flexibility to give them what they need.
That's great. That's
Love
a
it.
lot of
I love
communication.
it all.
Yeah, thank you. That those open calls, such a gift. And even if no one shows up, you're like, hey, if you do, great. If not, great. That's wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Mark, where can our audience learn more about you? Where can they reach out to you and possibly strike up a conversation about partnering?
Yeah, I think the best place to find me would be on just my YouTube page, like to learn more about what we do, because I post a long form video either once or twice a week. And I really, if you want to tap into the ideas we're exploring, we have some really great content and great guests there. And then if you want to email me, you can just email me at mark@prosperlcpa.com.
I love the name, by the way. Well played. I love
Thanks.
good wordplay. So good. Well, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Mike had to drop. I apologize for that.
Yep.
He's a good guy. He had to go help his mommy.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mark. It was a total pleasure to meet with you today. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, everybody. So listen, I got to interrupt the show just to remind everybody to go to bill.com/grow to get your free demo and your free $250 gift card. You need to automate your repetitive tasks. Use what we use. Go to bill.com/grow.
Profit First app already gives you a step-by-step system with me, Mike Michalowicz, guiding you through every step of profitability. But the app team has been working behind the scenes on something that is going to make running Profit First even easier. Keep listening this month so you can be the first to know.
There we go.
What's your takeaway, Ron? What are your
A couple of
your
things.
takeaways?
A couple of things. I really liked in the beginning. It was educate the consumer, on what exactly it is. Because you're right. You're like, hey, I could call my guy and say, hey, what's a 1031 exchange? Can you help me out with that? And like, I know, I thought it might be the same thing as just filing, something else. It's not a big deal. So educating your consumer on what exactly the differences are. But I also this was really what I got. I can conceptualize the individual advanced tax strategies and programs, but the stacking of the ideas, okay, stringing them together, getting the ducks in a row, timing it so it all makes sense. I'm like, oh my God, that's where I need help. So I really love that provided me with more clarity on it's not one particular strategy. There's a bunch of other ones that can all work in, concert with each other.
I love it. That's a great one. My takeaways were definitely, I love the tax stacking, but I also, we talk about AI a lot, and we talk about the concerns of what's going to take our job or how are things going to look in a year from now. And what I love about the idea of tax planning and tax strategy is that it really is the relationship. It is so sticky. So, partnering with a tax strategist, you will now be the hero to your clients if you don't do this, right? But you're the person that, hey, thanks for hooking me up with Mark. He's amazing. We're doing this and this and this. Or like many of our members are doing, they're going to the AICTP to become certified tax planners and tax strategists. And, we live in a community of learners. They love learning. And so to me, this is yet another thing. Just keep learning, because the computer is not going to be able to think as strategically as we are yet. Maybe in 20 years, but we'll be.
It's already got me beat, Liz.
Maybe you still got a lot more empathy but you
Yeah.
got the chutzpah. You're good.
Yeah.
But I just another example of it's the relationship. His open office hours, AI's not having that.
Yeah.
It's not a chat
No.
box, right?
Right.
So I just love that. Yeah.
Good job.
Nice work, Mark. That's
Right.
great. Do you have it? Oh, I have
I left
I have
it
a
in
trippy
the office.
question.
Oh yeah.
I
What
have a
is
trippy
it?
question.
Great.
So sometimes I was feeling a little nostalgic.
Mark can answer this one too. Mark.
Oh,
you
yeah,
wanna
Mark, you're still
participate?
here.
You want to play in this reindeer game? All right.
So
what
this
is it?
this is not about being a professional. This is about getting to know each other and just sort of, hanging out.
Yeah.
This question, because I was feeling a little nostalgic, is what was your grandmother's signature dish, if she had one? No?
Soap in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Fair.
My mom would
What
do
I
that
didn't
too.
what I didn't like is when they started coming out with liquid soap. You ever get that in your mouth?
Squeezed in your
my
mouth.
God.
If your grandmother's listening, she's gonna say, Ronnie, really? You don't remember what I made? Was she not a cook?
No. No, well, yeah, she was. We had Thanksgiving there every single year, and I used to go with her to pick out the animals, and we've also used to go there and get lamb and stuff like that for Easter.
Okay.
But it was mostly bougie stuff.
Okay. So clearly you didn't love any of it. There you go. You're like,
I liked
thanks.
it. I did.
Mark, what was your grandmother's signature dish if she had one?
I don't think she ever made anything that good, to be honest. I don't remember cooking. Maybe she made some decent turkey on Thanksgiving, but I think she
Y'all
would like
better
order
check
in.
yourselves.
We
hell?
didn't have. I didn't have Italian. Mine was Scottish and French Canadian. What are they?
You didn't
making?
have it nice
Yeah.
booby Sunday gravy?
No,
Wish I could say that. That would have
we
been.
never
Yeah.
called it gravy either.
I know.
What?
I didn't either. Mine was, this is a weird one. It was pickled eggs. My grandmother
Pickled eggs.
loved pickling eggs. So, you know, they're purple. She'd put beet juice and they'd pickled eggs. We would go to her house. She had a pool, so we were there all the time out in Ohio in the summertime. And it would be thunderstorm. So we'd be like, get out of the pool. We would go inside. This was our snack. It's hilarious. Pickled eggs. And then a giant bowl of chocolate candy. And we would just eat chocolate. So it was like chocolate covered marshmallows, caramels, and pickled eggs.
That's
Like, what? It was so weird. So there you go.
Healthy.
My kids will have, my mother-in-law cooks all the time. My kids would be able to answer like 80 things on that one. Like,
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Insider's access. Thanks, Mark. Insider's access, Ron. Here,
Yeah.
I have your lightsaber.
My lightsaber, it broke, so I don't have one here. So
That's all right. We got
okay.
the sound.
Well, this is something that we're doing here that any business can apply. Think about this. When was the last time you just wrote some handwritten notes to your customers and just said thank you for being you? Not for business, not for a referral, but just an acknowledgement of them being a good human being. It's something we do here. It's not required, but there's cards available for anybody to do it whenever they want. And so
They're
it's
beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful cards.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, and Jules makes them. I can hook our Jules up, but
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Jules.
yeah, but just by simply taking the effort to just say thank you for them being them, or maybe you hear they're struggling for one reason or another, give them a nice little cute hanging on card or something. But it really goes a long way to relationship building. There you go. Well, that's it. Great job today, Mark. Mark, thank you so much for being a guest on GMAP. Listeners, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Don't forget, you can catch us on any podcatcher out there. Make sure you're reviewing and subscribing to our show. What else do they need to do, Liz?
Excellent. Yes. And if you would like to learn more about becoming a Profit First professional, please head to profitfirstprofessionals.com. On our website, you'll see a lot of good information, some really wonderful blogs that Billy Ann Grigg writes for us. But there's a button that says click to become a PFP, and you'll be able to sign up for an enrollment call with Ron. Spend 30, 40 minutes getting to know each other and deciding if this makes sense for you. So head to profitfirstprofessionals.com to learn more about becoming to hang with us, the Profit Con and beyond. All right,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a great day.